Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is a Friday evening, and if you are watching our beautiful faces, you're in the absolute right place because we got a lot to talk about right here on The Regulars. I'm Cody Decker.
I'm Tanya Ray Fox. It's Friday. We built the rundown before Trump did an executive order.
Yeah.
Which I don't think we even, I'm so tired of him that I genuinely don't even want to, do a full segment on it. So
We're
I'm
not.
glad.
So instead, we're going to do a modified headline real quick, just to touch on it real quick, just in case you didn't hear. The President of the United States, because there's nothing else more important going on, and everything is just going really fantastic. Mm-hmm. Everything's affordable. Gas is fine. Definitely no wars going on.
We're not at war.
And we're definitely not putting boots on the ground anywhere. Certainly those Epstein files have been released.
They couldn't even do a flyover at Red Sox at the Fenway game today because we've got too many people at war.
Aha.
No big deal.
Cool. Anyways, he also thinks it's important to insert himself into the world of the NCAA. You might have seen Tuberville trying to hit the Congress floor with the dumbest ideas in the world. And he's going to sign an executive order insisting that the transfer portal and NIL is reined in a little bit because reasons. And this is going to be a lot of fun for the NCAA, considering the fact that they have to sit around and determine whether or not they have to listen to a presidential executive order or a judicial order. And I'm just really excited for all the lawsuits that are about to happen. And maybe we can finally, actually, now that I think about it, there might be a bright side to this. Maybe this is the chaos we need to get the NCAA to completely fold and implode on itself.
I highly doubt it. I think this is just going to get shot down. And that's the thing is it's just all distraction tactics. And the crazy part is the whole thing is we're gonna limit the them to all college athletes to 5 years in college, and then they can only have one transfer.
Okay. Good luck. Not going to happen.
That would require a whole change to NIL. It's too much. It's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. I'm tired of his bullshit. I don't care. And to be honest, if we did a whole segment on it, it would be feeding into his bullshit by just being distracting. That's what he wants.
And I also get actually physically nauseated by saying the words Nick Saban. So I don't want to do this segment at all. Also,
I will say, if you feel like that's how you feel about Nick Saban, that's how I feel about Urban Meyer. And
oh my God, fuck Urban Meyer. Oh my God. Oh.
Did I ever tell you about seeing Urban Meyer? Because I worked at Fox Sports, when he also worked there, and he would be in the green room, and I avoided certain people in the green room if I knew that they were going to be in there, whatever, if I just didn't want to deal, right? But there was one day, did I tell you this?
No.
There's one day I was in the green room, and they were coming through from the makeup area, came through, kind of did a walkthrough, and then they were going to go do their show. And I was standing there with whoever I was standing there with. And he walked by and did the, they're doing the, hey, hi, how are you, blah, blah, blah. And he looked at me, did his, salutation of whatever it was, head nod, hi, whatever. And I stared through his soul. I did not move my body. I looked at him until he, looked away. I didn't move my face. I didn't say hi. I death stared him.
Good on you.
And his face was what the fuck? Mm-hmm. He had no idea how to react, and I was like,
good.
I have literally nothing. I am not going to do. I'm not going to do the niceties with you. I hate you.
No, you're the worst. You're the worst. Yeah. He's such the worst that I truly wish this happened. Remember the whole thing when he was in Jacksonville and he kicked the kicker who was stretching that one time? I am upset.
I forgot about this.
So upset that kicker didn't get up and immediately beat the living shit out of Urban Meyer.
Who would have been on Urban Meyer's side?
Not a single person. No one was on Urban Meyer's side.
Nobody would have been oh no,
yeah.
He would have gotten away with it.
I hate
it would have been easy.
But listen, we'll keep you abreast of that as this eventually gets shot down and eventually overturned by every court humanly known to man, and when NIL players sue and everybody in the transfer portal sues. So congratulations, you tried to distract us. Not going to happen. Hey, let's get to headlines.
Oh my gosh, do I have a headline for you? It's our new beat. It's our new favorite beat. referees. There's always a new referee story. Is this not the weirdest year for referees?
It really is. We have a ref issue with the NFL side, which we definitely broke down in great detail just the other day.
Yeah, if you guys want to hear us scream at each other with a bunch of misunderstandings.
No.
and then
There was one misunderstanding, and then ultimately
It was math.
it was the math, and then it was ultimately the extra math on top, finding out exactly how much they're already getting paid. And your truly good faith argument made me hate refs even more than I already did, and I actually turned into a complete monster by the end of it, and I want them all removed from the game.
Yes, I ruined it for everybody. But this one, I think we're going to be on a fairly similar page on this one. But I would like to break it down. There is another lawsuit against the NFL. This time filed by the NFL's first female official, Robin DiLorenzo, one of the first 3 women to work full-time as an on-field NFL official, has filed a lawsuit against the league and 2 officials, saying that she faced gender discrimination, retaliation, and harassment while in her role from 2022 to 2025. The league fired her in February of 2025.
Okay.
I'll just read you a couple of the details of this, and then we will get into it.
Okay.
Obviously, the NFL spokesperson is saying this is baseless. DiLorenzo, in the complaint, she describes an environment that fixated on her gender from day one, and a league that views female officials as novelties to be controlled, disciplined, or pushed out, never as professionals entitled to equal opportunity. Walt Anderson, former senior vice president of officiating, told DiLorenzo to make her ponytail show through the hole in the back of her hat, while DiLorenzo preferred to have her hair tucked underneath.
Yeah.
Anderson is one of the officials named in the complaint. She said the comments were making her so uncomfortable, she considered cutting off her hair. She said in the lawsuit that that another official, John Hussey, would use profanities in telling her to stop talking, and that Hussey would not speak with her by the end of the season. During her time working for the NFL, the complaint said DiLorenzo was asked to attend a college football refereeing clinic, even though it was a low-level college clinic involving different rules, different mechanics, and different philosophies compared to the NFL, calling the experience humiliating. And that was so egregious that the Referees Association filed a grievance on her behalf, and the league ultimately reimbursed her and all of her expenses and paid her for attending. And the complaint also said, finally, that DiLorenzo received inaccurate grades on the calls and that her male counterparts were treated more favorably under the grading system while she faced more stringent standards. None of this, not a single part of it, surprises you or I. Let's just go right there.
There wasn't a syllable in there.
Yeah, where you were like, wow,
there wasn't even a thing I would push back on.
Right.
Going like, yeah, no way. No, that probably happened. Yeah, that definitely happened.
If you have ever been, first of all, a woman in the world, a woman in the workplace, if you've ever been a woman in a male-dominated workplace, especially one that's like this patriarchal, this stuff is like, I'd be shocked if it weren't happening. That's not to say that it should be happening, but it's like, yeah. And good on her for setting a boundary with the lawsuit, because here's the thing. A lot of what she's saying is very similar to the racial stuff that Brian Flores and Steve Wilkes are alleging in their lawsuit, where it's this idea that it's like, well, you're not falling into line of like our specific standard for all the white men here. Whenever you are different in the space, they're just going to expect you to, like, you're the diversity hire. We're going to treat you like the diversity hire.
Yes.
And it's like, that's not how true diversity works.
Nope.
And, you know, this is what I want to ask you about, because we're in a place where diversity for diversity's sake is dangerous to people, right?
Yes.
Dangerous to black people, dangerous to women, dangerous to minorities working in these
And
spaces.
it's also dangerous on top of the fact because now you're creating the worst and laziest narrative in the world that we're dealing with right now, which is giving every racist person in the world freedom to be racist by just changing certain verbs and nouns to the words DEI. Right.
And so, like, now DEI is under attack. Now diversity, even when it does exist, is so. I've always said this. And
it's exploited.
And then what happens is, because you don't have the infrastructure to actually, in good faith, support diversity, support women in the space, support black men in the space, support any, like, let's say, like LGBTQ hires, because you haven't changed any of the structures that caused the homogeneity of the league in the first place, they are thrust into a spot where they are set up to fail. You're set up to fail. I've always said this about black coaches, whether they're head coaches, coordinators, or whatever else. So often they are set up to fail. It's
Very
like, you get
often.
the chance, we're going to give it to you, but like, not only, we're not going to invest the same way. And if you fail, we're going to fire you quick. And in this case, she's gone into a space that like clearly did no effort to actually be inclusive to women.
What are you talking about? They had her pull her ponytail out. That just made it abundantly clear they took her seriously.
It's like, this is the stuff that people don't think about, right? It's like they don't think they have to account for the fact that our bodies are built different. All of her uniforms were too big. They were given to her in men's sizes. Her hair is an issue. I guarantee, our periods are never taken into consideration in the workplace. There's all these things because they don't think that they should have to. Everything is so male-centered. And it's a catch-22. You want to work, like she wants her job back. That's what this lawsuit's about. She actually wants to go back to work. That's fucking heartbreaking to me because it's like, I get that. I would too. And you're going to go back into a system that still has not changed in order to like sufficiently, keep you safe from this kind of harassment. And there will be people who will try, right? Like there are going to be some, I've had so many male colleagues over the years who are respectful and understand my plight and and absolutely try. They can't change the mechanism that's been rolling for hundreds of years that still says I'm out of place.
Yes.
So it's frustrating to know that on one hand, you want the job, you want to get, but then there is no avoiding this until these mechanisms are stripped down bare, and they're not going to fucking do it.
Well, here's the problem. Obviously, one, she's not going to get her job back. There's no universe that she gets her job back. And if she does get her job back, does she even truly want the job?
Is still coaching in the league.
I see a universe more likely, whether this is a good thing or a bad thing, it
Yeah.
just depends on your perspective.
Just to pay out.
They're just going to pay her out. And because they
I'm
can.
glad that she is. I think it's really kind of cool of her to be like, I want my job back.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool too.
Because I like, even whether they do or don't, and I agree with you that it's kind of up in the air. Whether you do or don't agree with it, I like the idea that she is like, I'm not looking for money. I'm not looking for compensation. I want my fucking job.
And I like that. I like that too. Make no
Yeah.
mistake. I understand the plight. I'm just
Not
looking
that
at the
she would be at fault if she wanted money.
No.
Hey,
She should get money for
Yeah.
for the hassle of it all. But no,
Right.
they're just going to pay her out probably a large lump sum, and she will just quietly go away. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you perceive this.
Yeah. And how it goes may influence whether or not she continues wanting to come back. I mean, I think probably part of it is that I don't think Walt Anderson is currently a senior official anymore. Like I think he's just out now. I think he does. Yeah, because now he's doing he's like broadcast.
Oh,
guy, I
well,
think.
it's just
so.
listen.
But
It's
so
one
maybe
of
that's
those
part of it.
scenarios.
But it's like there's always going to be another one, right? There's always
Yeah,
gonna
listen, it's going to happen again, and the thing that really stood out to me is unquestionably that the NFL wanted specifically their ponytails to be outside the hat. That just is funny to me. I understand what the NFL
know
is
what
trying to go for with this. I truly understand.
What do you think it is?
What do they
Yeah.
want? What do I think it is? Here's what I know it is. They need to parade it out there so they can prove how progressive they are. In that, citing that they have to have their ponytail out is a pretty ass backward ways, because it's really showing is how not progressive you are. Look at us, congratulate us. Like, stop it.
It's also, I'll tell you this right now, that 100%, you're on the mark. It's also a way for them to kind of dehumanize you. Like, you need to stand out. You're the girl ref.
Yes.
We need to recognize you, just like how we do the bathroom signs. We don't know which one to go into unless the lady's wearing a skirt. You are a girl ref. Throw your ponytail out.
Yes.
Like-
See, and by the way, it hits a nail on the head of what you said earlier. It is the antithesis of inclusion, because it's not inclusion just because you're at the party. How is it inclusion if you're at the party and you're wearing a different outfit, that you're doing the same job, but no. This one has a star on them because they're different. They're not supposed to be different. You're missing the whole point of fucking diversity.
Yeah. and like everything. It's like your clothes don't fit right. Your ponytail has to be sticking out of your hat so everyone knows you're the girl ref.
Yeah.
And like you're
a bit frustrating.
Of course the grades. Of course the
Like we were
grades.
expecting anything different. Listen, how about this? The thing that
It's so predictable. Why wouldn't you just at some point I would love for somebody to just like reverse sexism and be like, give her all A+. Fuck it. Let's see what they say then.
because we're going to do the exact same thing now that we're doing now on the opposite end. It's going to be, listen, it's going to be impossible to just change the hearts of the NFL and the minds of the NFL.
Sure.
There's no universe that we're going to be able to do that right now. But it's going to take a lot more fans saying something about it. But unfortunately, fans are just as divided as they've ever been. And that is just the sad truth of it. At this point, I just hope she gets the top dollar that she possibly can out of this.
And I hope that it also, you have to remember, there's still other women in the league as refs. So it could help them.
Yes.
That's also a huge part of it. Taking one for the team, women are constantly doing that. But some women aren't. Some women aren't. We've been in the industry. We know.
We know how it goes.
We've seen it.
Oh boy, have I seen it.
Sometimes the competition is not nice. So I like it. I think she's doing the right thing by all the women involved.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Unquestionably. So that's headline number one.
I did not brush my hair out, guys. I'm sorry. I just have to fix that.
You do look fucking hideous.
I was gonna say, I can't believe you didn't tell me.
Pretty gross. Headline 2, Tanya.
All right. The season is on the brink for the Lakers. Luka Doncic has a hamstring injury, and his hamstring holds the fate of the Lakers' hopes and his NBA honors because he has been a contender, albeit maybe not a top contender, but in the mix for the NBA MVP. Now, things are looking rough all across the board.
They lost by 40 last
We're talking a non-contact injury, right?
Good.
It
was a non-contact hamstring injury. Good news is that it is specifically, and they have said multiple times, soft tissue, so they feel at least confident about that. He is officially shut down for the rest of the regular season. That has just been announced in the last 2 hours.
How many games are left in the regular season?
Only about like 6 or 7, so not a ton. They do have another game coming up on Sunday, another one on Tuesday against Oklahoma City, who just beat the living breaks off of the Lakers last night.
Luka,
and now, but Luka did come out in the third quarter, and they were neutralizing Luka the entire time.
Were they?
Yeah. Oh no, this was.
I didn't realize that they were already getting.
This game was a bludgeoning.
Okay.
This game was an ass kicking from Jump Street, and then Luka came out. So this is There's a part of me that thinks there's a little bit of gamesmanship in this. There's a part of me that absolutely sees that he is hurt. He was limping around. He was having some trouble, and finally came out of the game. Another part of me loved seeing Austin Reeves go to bat for him with that one fan who was trying to talk shit while Luka was on the ground.
Gotta love that.
I do. I dig that.
Well, who talks shit to somebody who's... I can't. These idiots.
Just assholes. But listen, no Luka, no nothing. Luka probably still knocked out in the second round. Last night was a bit eye-opening. Now, I was hoping that maybe Luka comes back and he's going to be okay by Tuesday, and maybe the Lakers will show a different showing. But based on what I saw last night, they looked, and I'm a diehard Laker fan, man, but I'm very measured with this shit. I try to be realistic. Oklahoma City looks like they're just in not a different league, a different fucking universe than this team. And by the way, the Lakers are fucking good. That's just how good Oklahoma City is.
Yeah, I mean, the Lakers just have really big flaws. Like, they can, at their best, they're a great team.
Yeah.
But, like, night in, night out, there are ways to expose their roster issues, their depth, their size. Like, there's just issues. And that's fine. I would have been shocked if the Lakers made it to the Western Conference Finals.
Me too.
Like, to be quite honest.
It's really, to me, it's a two-team race.
Unless they got like a perfect, sometimes matchups-wise, you just never know if you get lucky.
And again, this is a team that last month lost like 4 games and went nuts in March. And they got hot at the right time. But it's still, you know who else was just as hot the entire time? The Spurs and the Thunder. Like, they didn't stop.
Yeah, they didn't let off the brakes enough for them to catch up to anything or whatever. And that also sort of put Luka's MVP contention on the back burner because both Shea and Wembanyama have stayed insane.
Yes.
And Nikola Jokic, we've talked about too, is like always making a push. And Jaylen Brown has been like continuing to ball the fuck out. So like, you know, personally, I think like what Luka, the offensive burden that Luka's been carrying on the Lakers has been a really big one, maybe bigger than even Shea. But at the end of the day, that's just not how this works.
No, it just is not how how it works. And so, what have you done for me lately, league? And yeah, Luka's done a lot lately.
Yeah.
But now the season's going to end without him on the court.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. Hopefully, Luka's back for the playoffs, and we can get this version that we've seen for the last month of the Lakers. Just as a basketball fan, not just as a Lakers fan.
I asked you the other day, we would there was a little bit of sliver of hope that maybe somehow we get Celtics Lakers. You never know, and
It's not impossible.
It's not going to happen. Unless something wild happens.
It's going to require injuries.
Yeah, which we don't want to see.
No.
There's nothing I want to see less
I don't want that
somebody
to
else to get injured. Because part of the conversation that I also wanted to have is that it just feels like these really untimely injuries over the last 2 postseasons specifically between Tatum
and
Halliburton, and then we lose Cade Cunningham to the lung thing.
Supposedly, we're supposed to get Cade back.
Yes, but it's really stopped them from pulling away in the East in a way I think that they would have liked to. And now Luka right before the playoffs here, it's slowing down their major momentum. And that just honestly to me feels like I don't know if it's a rash of injuries that are just untimely and whatever else. We've talked about the Achilles thing, why Achilles are a collapsed lung and a hamstring, those things are not Achilles. Those are not one's a really freak situation. One's something that happens to NBA players all the time. I did see I saw a quote. I really hope this was real. I think it was, where Paul Pierce, he was like, yeah, these guys just get injured more than we used to. They're just whatever. They don't recover the same way. But someone underneath wrote, Paul Pierce was stabbed 11 times and played all 82 games. He's not backing off of this. And I was like, that's super valid.
Paul Pierce also came out of a game because he needed to take a shit once.
As you should. You want him to shit on the court?
He faked a leg injury and left to go take a shit.
I want you to think about how insufferable you'd be if you got stabbed 11 times and then played a full baseball season.
Very insufferable. Very insufferable.
I'd never stop talking. I'd be like, what do you want?
I played a whole career with a torn UCL.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Torn rotator cuff. No surgeries. I just fucking said I'm going.
It's actually, so people don't actually fully know how often players are playing through psychotic injuries.
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't kidding. I have a torn UCL.
Yeah.
I have had it since I was 14.
Yeah.
I have a torn rotator cuff and labrum. Played all through college and professionally for 11 years with them.
Is there a thing in the back of your head that's if those were healthy, I would have been in the big leagues way more?
Nah, at the end of the day, when you go to the big leagues, you are borderline handpicked. You're picked. You're anointed.
You don't think you don't think you could have been?
I hit 230 home runs. That was about 150 more than everyone that's currently in the big leagues. No, I was 5'11".
You could.
I was 5'11".
What you're saying is you were already the best possible AAA player. You could have been.
I'm only saying that because all the records are under my name at this point. Yes,
okay,
I was pretty good.
I'm just finding out that you have records.
I have a lot of records. Yes, records I don't want.
AAA records?
Probably a couple. I was in the PCL for a long time.
Right.
I have, but the thing is, sometimes it doesn't matter. There are guys that slip through the cracks that weren't supposed to get it. Like a Max Muncy, for instance. Max Muncy was a guy that just got the opportunity and got it done. But the majority of the guys in the big leagues, they're all drafted high, paid high. I was told when I was drafted that I was first on the chopping block to be released every single year, and I would have to hit my way to the big leagues. And even then, I'd be lucky if I even stuck a day in the big leagues. And that's exactly what my career was. I hit my way to the big leagues, stuck around in the big leagues for less than a month, spent the rest of my time in AAA and bounced around and around and around. It's just one of those. It's a business thing. I was paid $638.43.
But you really don't think the UCL and the labrum, you think a healthy,
My arm was in the infield more than solid.
Okay.
I was a catcher. My arm was fine. Okay. I wasn't drafted because of my arm. I can't stress that. I get hit. I get hit home runs.
Yeah.
And I hit home runs better than most people in the game.
Do you have UCLA records?
No. No, I think I'm third all time in their home run thing. Eric Valence ahead of me and Eric Burns is ahead of me. Oh, I know that.
You see, you should have been named Eric.
I know that's really fucked.
That's the biggest problem that Terry.
That's why
Terry, what the hell?
That's why my mother's worthless.
While we're on this side tangent that has nothing to do with our topic,
not at all.
Have you ever found it suspicious that the Yankees got those 4 guys brought them up from AAA in 1995 at the same exact time, and they all became like first ballot Hall of Fame. Like,
Not necessarily suspicious.
never seen anything like it.
No, I mean, there were other teams that had similar things, but that team had a combination of a few things. One, you had that core group that all became legends
core
as they were,
four.
that just went through it all, and they were constantly surrounded by other MVPs from other teams, and they had all the money at the time. For instance, I'll give you an example.
But they were so. It wasn't
No, I
like
agree.
they got. It's not like they got
they
carried.
were all
like,
incredible.
They were insane.
But can I give you an example that
Yes.
you might really lose you in a second?
Okay.
But hear me out on this. During the 90s.
Try not to lose our audience.
No. In the 90s, from 1992 to 1997, one team had 5 consecutive Rookie of the Years, all of which were all-stars, all of which were monsters. And they went to the playoffs a few times, no World Series around it, because they didn't really bring in high-end free agents around it to surround these guys. And until some of them became high-end free agents themselves, they were moved on elsewhere.
Mariners?
Los Angeles Dodgers.
Dodgers.
Eric Karros, Mike Piazza, Hideo Nomo, Raul Mondesi, and
weren't all
Todd
the same
Hollinsworth.
year.
No, but they were all together for years.
But the quality of players you just said is like if you had said 4 of those guys came up all at the same time to the Dodgers in 1996 or whatever,
That's fair.
My brain would have been like, what the fuck?
That's fair. I mean, it's just
That is wild.
Jeter was a young cat, really young cat
And
at
Bernie
the time.
Williams was also
Bernie
yeah.
Williams just happened to be one of the best hitters of all
Jeter,
time.
Posada, Rivera. Who's the 4th?
You just said it. Jeter, Posada, Rivera.
Not Bernie Williams. No,
Not Bernie Williams,
There's a 4th one we're forgetting. Pettit. Andy Pettit. Yeah. And then they came on, and it was Bernie Williams and Paul O'Neill, and they had like a core of 7 of them.
It was stupid. And then eventually they bring in
But I
Giambi, and they bring
always
in
just
this
found
guy.
it was a little like I have not been able to find at least in modern baseball
where everybody just came up all at once,
and where
just
like a GM
monstrous.
was like, oh, we
That is
got
fair.
these guys, and we're bringing them all up at once. By the way,
It was
they
a
brought the decision to say like, hey, I've got like this little tiny window
Mm-hmm.
while Steinbrenner is like suspended, right? Like he had been like suspended from doing something from like baseball operations for something he'd done. He like wasn't allowed to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
So the GM was like, I've got this little window. We're retooling. I'm bringing all these guys up. Gene Michael.
And it worked.
Bringing all these guys up. And then that was like, it's just like, I think that might be the greatest fucking move a GM's maybe ever made in the history of baseball. It was truly remarkable. Like,
Probably.
I mean, yeah, at the time it's like you don't know for sure. There's a lot of people who've made like much more calculated risk decisions.
I'll give you an example. The Braves. The Braves in 2001 bring up all these young guys, and they put them out a few guys around it, and all of a sudden they win a World Series. They lock up all these young guys, and almost every one of said young guys have faltered since then.
But they didn't. That's what I'm saying.
I know,
They
it's
didn't
incredible.
become-
I know,
They
I-
didn't become the thing. Right?
No, they did not.
Yeah.
But they
It's
thought they had the
right,
thing, yeah.
Right. So, anyways, glad we went on that tangent. Had nothing to do with what we were talking about, but we're allowed to do that. We're both ADHD. What do you expect? The fact that we stay on topic as often as we do is a fucking miracle. So don't give us any shit. Nobody's giving us shit. Why am I'm projecting that onto you guys. I'm sorry.
I'm not sure what is. Drink drink more wine. That'll help.
I mean, but we
anyways,
have another topic.
Anyways, headline number 3. Tanya, what is today's headline 3?
Tiger Woods told police he was just talking to the president.
What a douche.
After he got pulled over, body cam footage showed it to us. This really like terrifying, dangerous, another DUI. This happened in 2021. They let him off. They made excuses. He is now back behind the wheel. Not good. Rolls his car, the whole deal, right? Didn't he roll his car?
Oh, he rolled his car.
And they catch him on the body cam, and he's doing this insufferable thing where he's like all the way away, like on the phone. He's like, sorry, just talking to the president. Hold on.
Just
unbelievable shit.
Just insufferable.
He is
insufferable shit.
He is currently dating Vanessa Trump, who used to be married to Donald Trump Jr.
Oh, that's so cool.
So he's in like, and we've known forever that Tiger Woods is very close friends with Trump.
Yes.
This is sort of like, I think for everybody, like there was a time where people were kind of like feeling bad for Tiger because we understand where his substance abuse issues began. We know how they began with like recovering from injuries. Like some of the shit he was dealing with physically and like surgeries and stuff were like pretty brutal. And we know how this happens, right? So it's like, we're going to cut him a little slack, a little substance. All right. And then he's doing the weird shit with, cheating on his wife. Okay, fine. We know who hasn't done it.
I thought it was the hooker thing portion of
Well, while he was cheating on his wife.
No, it was the hooker aspect.
I know. I think the hooker and Ambien thing would have gone over great if he weren't married with kids at the time. Like, I genuinely think people would have been like kind of iconic, right? Like what we did with like Hugh Grant or whatever. Like sometimes people are just, like, we don't really care when people are nuts. We just so he got, and Elon did smash his car up with a so.
Yeah, but he doesn't have that excuse this time.
That's what I'm saying. And so I think we've gotten to a point with Tiger Woods, who is inarguably one of the most iconic American athletes of all time.
Yes.
It's not an argument. You and I are exactly the same age. Tiger Woods has been one of the most famous people in America and
If not
also
the
across
world.
the world. Most of our lives that we have been coherent. Like this has been since the late 90s. And he is a part of American sports culture
Yes,
in
he
a
is.
way that is inextricable from our experience, both growing up watching sports and then covering sports.
Yeah.
I am coming to a place with Tiger that is really heartbreaking, which is that like, I don't know that I can separate the art from the artist anymore with Tiger. And I don't know how you feel about it.
Oh, Tiger can fuck himself. I don't
Yeah.
give a shit if he's good at sport. This is where I differ from just
But
about everybody.
I'm not talking about even right now, just by the way. I want to make it clear. I'm talking about like, do I want to watch Tiger documentaries anymore?
No, I don't.
Yeah,
I'll
right.
give you an example.
Okay.
Like I do not separate the art from the artist. I just can't do it. And maybe that's a flaw in my own aspect, but I can't
Depends
watch,
on the art, the
but-
artist, and the thing.
Exactly, but
for me.
like for instance, I used to love Woody Allen movies. Fuck Woody
Yeah.
Allen. So I'm not watching
Yeah.
any Woody Allen movies.
If you're doing shit to kids, I'm out.
I used to be a Kanye West fan. I can't listen to shit from Kanye. Period. Stop.
Yeah, and
just
the
flat out
Nazi
can't.
thing, not great.
Yeah, so I can't stress this enough.
Mm-hmm.
I don't separate one from the other because I like to believe that when we used to have no choice but to do that, we were far less evolved. I like to believe
Right.
that we have grown and evolved since then.
Okay.
Granted, no matter how many people try to push back on that and not only defend behavior but go out of their way to say that the behavior is actually justified, which is just fucking baffling to me. Tiger Woods needs to go the fuck away.
Mm-hmm.
And I do mean like forever. He just needs to go away. Like you've made more money than ever. You're never coming back into golf. Get the fuck over it.
Yeah.
All of you that is sitting around thinking, well, Tiger could win another round. No, he fucking cannot.
He can't.
He's not even fucking close to the guys that are top of their game right now. It's a different fucking universe. Just go away.
Yeah.
You've made all the money. You're a golf legend. And still, even right now, despite you putting so many people in danger with your antics, you're still gonna be a legend to them and be defended.
And against all odds, you haven't hurt or killed somebody.
I don't know
else.
how you did that. And honestly, I don't know if that's true anymore because last time he rolled his car this week, he was calling the fucking president to get him out of it.
That's actually a fair point. And I will say, let's take all of the DUI and the rolling your car and everything else out of the equation. Like, not a huge fan of people who are MAGA. Like, you're friends with a guy who's doing genocide, starting wars, like stripping away people's rights, putting children in cages. I don't know. Like, I'm starting to get to the point with Tiger where it's like, even if before this, like, I was never going to watch him golf. I wasn't going to sit down
I
and
don't
watch
care.
Tiger golf. Like, fuck you. Fuck you. Like, you're just like this billionaire entitlement bullshit. No thanks. Now, people will be up a lot of athletes' asses for like LeBron said this stupid thing where he was at a podium was like, oh, I've heard nothing but good things about Israel after they planted an Israeli reporter in the newsroom to ask him what he wanted to say to his Israeli fans. Now, do I think it was a smart thing for LeBron to say? No.
No,
Do
not
I
at all.
think that setting LeBron up to have an Israeli reporter ask him
Horrible
during this whole
situation
thing,
to put him.
like, fuck you. Like,
Horrible spot to put him
Yeah,
in.
like those are the types of things where I'm like, I can't get stuck on that stuff. I wish LeBron did more. I wish a lot of famous people did more. But I don't need them to be social justice warriors. I just need them to not be like very obviously on the wrong side of things and
Yes.
promoting it. Tiger Woods has been promoting Donald Trump.
Yes.
He has been a Donald Trump supporter, defender, friend, colleague, whatever.
Yes. Yes, he has.
I'm I'm quitting. I quit Tiger a long time ago. I had quit Tiger before the 2019 Masters. And then because I'm a human being, I was like, okay, that was pretty fucking sick. Because I am a human being. And
Yes, I get it.
I had to enjoy a moment that felt fucking insane. And
I
it
get
was.
it. But at the time, we were to believe that he was attacked by his wife-ish down the road. Yeah, he did all these terrible
No,
things.
this was 2019. This was way after that.
I know, but wasn't the whole thing like wasn't it specifically Nike when he won it that like put out an ad with him sinking the last punt and I'll never forget the ad because it grossed me the fuck out and it said winning solves everything, to which I just went like, wow, guess who's wearing Adidas this next fucking year? Jesus.
Oh my God. I don't remember that, but yeah, I had kind of just been out on Tiger, and then the 2019 Masters happened, and I'm like, that's actually pretty crazy. That was the last good moment I had with Tiger, and it will be the last. It sucks. It sucks to lose icons and legends from the zeitgeist. It sucks to like let go of your childhood heroes and whatever else. And especially because he was so important for diversifying golf. Like Tiger actually experienced some truly psychotic racism.
Yes, he did. No, and make no
and,
mistake.
like-
What he
I know,
dealt
but
with
it
in
doesn't-
his
it-
earliest
yeah.
career is insane.
And what he's done for golfers,
insane,
for non-white men,
amazing
and
stuff.
not even just golfers, maybe all kinds of athletes. Winning takes care of everything is fucking crazy.
Yeah, this
That's
was
crazy.
this was a real ad that they put out there.
That is insane.
I'll never forget it. Going like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's insane. I'm sorry. Like that's. But again, like Tiger's been insufferable for a while. So this is us bidding any sort of fond relationship to Tiger Woods officially goodbye. We've been doing it, but we're doing it for sure.
Yeah.
Now, any other words on Tiger before we move to media corner?
No, go away. Just
Okay.
go away. Just
Go away,
off
Tiger.
in the ether. Do your
Stay
thing.
in Switzerland. Go to rehab. Figure it out.
I hear it's nice.
Stay off the fucking roads.
Please,
Thanks.
please, just buy it. Get a driver, dude. Just Jesus Christ. Get
All
a
right.
driver.
This has been my beat all week. So we're getting into
Media corner.
Yeah, this is
and
like-
yeah. By the way, I did 2 segments on this week because
Okay.
and on 2
so
different
it's,
Beatle
both of us
endeavors.
have been on this beat.
Yeah, this
let
is
me
a
say
story
what
that
it
came
is,
out
yeah.
that grossed me out.
The media disaster of ESPN reporting on Jalen Hurts has taken on a life of its own. It started with a report from Jeremy Fowler and Tim McManus of ESPN that detailed from anonymous sources within the Eagles organization a culture that is seeing Jalen Hurts having a ton of friction with his teammates, his coaches, and the front office staff in general. He has
Sure.
been called uncoachable. It's been said that he changes plays and doesn't take accountability. And I mean, this was like a real character assassination piece run by these two, in a way that like I found really unique. And what I'll tell you about it that's unique, because I want people to be clear. I have seen this type of character assassination of Shedeur Sanders, of Lamar Jackson, and now Jalen Hurts in the last calendar year. So it's not unique for us to hear these things. It's not even unique for us to hear it from anonymous sources. What is unique is for those anonymous sources to go from the organization directly to a reporter and do this full interview style sort of leak. Normally what's happening, just for the viewer, is that when you hear like the Lamar Jackson piece from last fall from Mike Preston or the reporting on Shedeur Sanders, it is these anonymous random quotes and murmurs that are put together into a piece that's like, hey, this is the stuff that we're hearing around the league about this situation. That's not what this was. This was somebody's from within the Eagles organization or attached to the Eagles organization going directly to them and giving them many, many, many character assassination quotes. That is very weird.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to tell you something before we fully get into this.
Sure.
I'm going to tell you what Shedeur, Lamar, and Jalen Hurts have in common.
Mm-hmm.
They are incredibly confident, do not stray from who they are, and while doing that have absolutely no baggage, no drama, no accusations, no allegations, beloved in their community, beloved in their college careers. They are people who are sort of have like this unassailable, like likable character, and they don't need to be fixed by the NFL.
Nope.
The white men in the NFL don't have to look at them and say, oh, well, we can turn you into an NFL quarterback. We can fix you. They are confident in who they are, and they do not play the game of the white men in charge of them. And that is why when people say, well, we don't hear this stuff about so-and-so, well, what I'm telling you is that there's a very specific type of black leader and quarterback in the NFL that rubs front offices and coaching staffs and specific people the wrong fucking way. And I'm tired of that part of the conversation not being addressed because Jalen Hurts is quite literally, Cody, one of the most unassailable character guys in the NFL. Like, composed, thoughtful, kind, has an entire woman representative staff. He is represented entirely by women, including his agent. He is married. He is constantly in the community. He was like reading books to kids the other day when the shit came out.
Yep.
So what are we, before we move on to the newer aspect of this story that came out today, where are we at, Cody? Where are we at? What are you thinking?
A full-blown hit piece that was so transparent in its actions that it nauseated me. And there is something very interesting that happens out of Philly. It happens in a lot of cities, but it's funny that they go preemptively looking for a scapegoat going into each season. We have watched it happen to Sirianni 2 years ago, weirdly. You know, roughly 9 months removed from winning a Super Bowl previously. And, of course, he was on the hot seat. And now we're doing it to Jalen Hurts, roughly 9 months removed from, 15 months removed from another Super Bowl that he won.
Not even. They won that 14 months ago.
14 months ago where, and by the way, not only won, beat the ever-loving shit out of the big bad wolf and Patrick Mahomes' Kansas City Chiefs.
Way, outplayed Patrick Mahomes in both of those Super Bowls.
Unquestionably.
He outplayed him twice.
The man's been to 2 Super Bowls, and based on stats and figures and everything, he is, and I don't even think it's close, the greatest quarterback in the history of the Philadelphia Eagles. This is when it really tipped off. So that's just my initial thing. To me, everything about it was just like, none of this makes sense.
By the way, 2 people in media, our ears were perked immediately at the way this was reported, when it was reported, how it was reported, what was reported.
That's the big one, and I'll get to that in just a second. It's also the added fact of, oh boy, it was just, I kept looking at this going, this simply doesn't make sense in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Someone is really trying to get him out of here, and I'm trying to figure out why the money is, and that's the reason why the money is happening. Come to see that certain years cap hits kind of change, and amazingly, restructuring is always, and I can't stress this enough. After all of that, all of it where my bullshit meter was just going off like a motherfucking freight train. Then I looked at the date. And then I realized when this was released, right after those wonderful, wonderful meetings. You mean to say, like, right when the meetings were happening, where all the coaches were being interviewed like crazy, all the GMs were being interviewed like crazy? This massive story with so many inside sources to ESPN didn't come out during that, when it could have been a massive firestorm. Every question that would have been asked of any Eagle employee would have been about this story. It releases right after it happens. They get to walk away just scot-free, not answering any questions. And right now, everyone's just wondering, man, how bad is Jalen Hurts? He ain't bad at all. This is the most nauseating, nonsensical hit piece I've ever seen. And the only reason it exists is because somebody doesn't want Jalen Hurts getting paid. And it sounds like it's a lot of Eagles employees specifically.
I think that there are a few bad actors involved in here. I wouldn't be surprised if Kevin Patullo, who was fired by the OC, was involved. A lot of people think it might be Nick Sirianni. I do not. I have not gathered the feeling that Nick Sirianni is a go-to reporter shit talker.
I can't see that happening.
He is his own if you want to say he's chaotic, problematic, maybe he does have issues with Jalen Hurts and they have an off and on relationship. Lots of head coaches and their quarterbacks have had a love-hate relationship. He does not strike me as I'm going to anonymously talk to Jeremy Fowler guy. It's not what I think his deal is. I have this, like, the uncoachable thing, these like dog whistle kind of stuff that they're saying about, like, you have to understand, there have only been 2 black quarterbacks to start at like multiple Super Bowls. Like, what are the odds that the one who was the reigning MVP from less than 14 months ago, the reigning Super Bowl MVP, just happens to be the most uncoachable motherfucker to ever win this much early on in his career, the most uncoachable motherfucker to have
46-20, by the way.
right, to have the kind of stats that he has. His Super Bowl performances are two of the best Super Bowl performances of the 21st century.
Last year was a down year. They were 11-6.
They're 11-6. What are the
Down year, by
odds
the
that
way.
he just also happens to be uncoachable? This uncoachable guy, by the way, who has had not one, but two offensive coordinators get hired to be head coaches.
Well,
so so he's so uncoachable that he's gotten multiple offensive coordinators head coaching jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, interesting. He's so uncoachable that they've been to 2 Super Bowls in the last 5 years, right? This is not a thing. Like, I think I need people to understand that's not a thing.
not at all.
Ben Roethlisberger got away with multiple credible allegations of rape and sexual assault because the whole organization was like, that's our franchise quarterback. We're not saying shit. We'll suspend him maybe a couple games for a couple things, and then we're fucking moving on. You didn't hear shit about his character. I don't hear shit about Justin Herbert's character, who everybody in Los Angeles knows is a dick. Like an actual dick. Hasn't won a fucking thing. He hasn't won a fucking thing.
I love Josh Allen, but Josh Allen hadn't been to a single fucking Super Bowl.
And by all accounts, Josh Allen is a really great guy.
From what I understand,
so
he is.
Jalen Hurts.
I know.
Right?
I
No.
don't get this.
It's
This is
insane.
bullshit. This is.
By the way, do you know who's leading the league in the last since 2021? Since his first full season, leading the league in rushing touchdowns among quarterbacks?
I'm assuming Jalen Hurts. We can't. In fairness, we can admit the tush push helps a little on that one.
Okay.
I'm not saying right or wrong. I'm just saying it helps.
That's how Josh Allen gets his touchdowns too.
I didn't say there wasn't. I'm actually on your side. I'm saying, like, where is Josh Allen's criticism?
It's a quarterback sneak.
I know.
You know what we used to do? Fucking Tom Brady over his
All
quarterback
the
sneak.
time.
We couldn't stop talking about how sneaky his sneak was. The greatest sneak that ever snuck. We could not stop talking about how it was the greatest quarterback sneak in the history. We acted like he had invented the thing.
Yeah.
But as soon as Jalen Hurts is the only person in the league who can do the tush push, because nobody could sneak the ball like Tom Brady. Nobody could do it. Nobody could sneak like Tom Brady. I watched. It was nuts.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, how do you get fucking 4 yards on us? But as soon as it's Jalen Hurts, now it's like, well, it's what it. Now, when Ben Roethlisberger was pretty goddamn good in the red zone on his legs, because he at one point was like, the second best back in the day, right? Back in the day when it was a totally different game. His 4-year stretch that was like compared to Jalen Hurts, he was second in the league among all quarterbacks with rushing touchdowns behind, I think it was David Garrard. He had 11, right? David Garrard had 12. Jalen Hurts has 60. Like, the game's different, right?
Yeah, no, of course.
Now, back then, what we used to say, the thing we would say about Ben is he's a big bitch. Tackle him. He's 6'5", 280. He's a big fucking dude.
Big dude.
Couldn't take him down. Okay. Good for you. You use your shit to your advantage. Fine. Meanwhile, all the excuses in the world made for this guy who none of his teammates liked him. Part of what they give Mike Tomlin credit for is putting up with his ass. He was like despicable. No one fucking liked Big Ben.
I just listen, this entire story, if you guys didn't read it and alarm bells didn't go off in the back of your head,
You're broken. You're broken as a,
then-
like, do some media literacy.
I mean, I can't stress enough. This honestly felt like it was written by a child.
And you know what, Cody? I think the thing we have to talk about with this before we move on from this topic is this is really bad unethical journalism.
Yes.
Like, we need
I expect
to
nothing
name
less from
that.
ESPN at this point.
We need to name that because Adam Schefter called it out. He went on Pat McAfee and did his I'm a cool guy Adam Schefter thing and basically said, like, the timing of this and the fact that it's anonymous sources, when you are assassinating someone's character, like using an anonymous source like that doesn't sit well with me. I have my own problems with Schefter. I'm not sure he's the best messenger, but the message was
But he is correct about
he
this
is correct.
message. So
And the fact of the matter is, even if everything that was said to McManus and Fowler, which I actually think it was. It is on you as a reporter, as a journalist, to investigate when, like, your red flag should go up and say, like, why is someone saying this about someone I have not heard these kinds of things about? And if I have, they've been sort of peripheral rumors. This is their franchise quarterback. He's a Super Bowl MVP. He's made them do all the things we just listed.
Seems
right?
like you should ask yourself questions first.
That's what I'm saying. Is
Yes.
like, who are, they kept saying players have issues with Jalen Hurts. Now, are you, Fowler and McManus, able to confirm that these players say that outside of AJ Brown, who has not said anything behind the scenes? He's publicly like had his little beefs with everybody on the fucking Eagles. Did you go to those? Did you ask who the players were? What the players said? Did you go to any players? Where these are one-sided character accusations that are not supported by the evidence that we have in front of us, by anything else we've heard about Jalen Hurts, by what we know about him off the field, by how he handles himself on the podium, on the sidelines, in the fucking huddle. If nothing is matching up, you as a reporter have a duty to say, like, something's not right here.
Yeah.
We can't publish this. But these two white motherfuckers were like, yeah, that makes sense. Because all of the media holds the same institutional, racist, dog whistling, microaggressive bullshit in their values as the people saying this shit do. And that's why these things keep leaking and happening. And I'm really, really tired of them getting let off the hook. Because as much as I appreciate how difficult it is to be a reporter, it's a different kind of job than what I have done in my career. I went to school for this. I know the ethics of it, and I've been around it for 16 years, my entire adult life out of college. This is bad journalism. It is unethical journalism, and printing this without any ability to go to the other side of the source, or without the opportunity for Jalen Hurts to defend himself, or without even corroborating from the people who are saying what they're saying, is unethical.
Can I make it abundantly clear on when you use anonymous sources? Anonymous sources are used very specifically, and other times too, but really specifically to protect said anonymous source from retaliation, danger of that sort.
Yeah, you don't get to anonymously
You don't
talk
get to
shit
just
about people.
you don't get to anonymously just shit post.
Yeah.
This is dog shit journalism, and ESPN should be fucking embarrassed.
This is literally someone signing up for a Twitter account under a fake name with a fake bio and being like, Cody Decker eats raw Brussels sprouts.
Yep.
Like, what the fuck? Like, you can't just do that. It is so inappropriate. And now they've got other reporters doubling down, coming up with like, well, I've actually heard something.
Nope.
None of you have heard this.
Nope. And if you did hear it, cite your fucking sources.
Right.
Cite them.
We've
You
all
don't get all
heard
to be
stuff.
anonymous on this.
We've all heard stuff.
God.
We live in a whole city full of places where you hear all kinds of
Who
shit
are
about
you people protecting? That also ask yourself that question.
White men. That's what they're. I don't think you understand how precious these motherfuckers are with their own power and their own shit. They don't understand that
Bunch
they
of
have carried
bitches.
these biases into their reporting their entire lives. They don't understand. They've never sat and really understood why it is that they should have. They don't. The red flags don't even go off. They are so used to hearing another white man be like, "Yeah, this black guy has an attitude problem."
Also,
And
by the
that's
way-
literally what happened.
No, and I agree. But also, this is the fucking NFL. We're pretending that there aren't a shit ton of people with that attitude problems. Like, it's professional goddamn
That's
sports.
where the racism comes in.
It's fucking unreal. It drives, and honestly, it's fucking nauseating. And ESPN, again, not just the reporters. You should be fucking beyond ashamed, but I don't think I don't think you have the intelligence to possess shame. ESPN, you should be fucking embarrassed that you allowed this to be fucking printed.
Yeah.
Fucking embarrassed.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for
I
you.
will never trust
I don't
Fowler
trust
or
any of these
McManus as a source ever again.
Mm-hmm.
Ever. And now there's a lot of reporters I don't like who they've handled their business in a way I don't love, but I will generally trust their reporting. I wouldn't say a lot. There are 3 maybe. But like regardless, they do exist where it's like I don't have to always like what you report or maybe like your approach to things. This is malpractice.
Yes. Unquestionably malpractice. All right, let's move on to media corner number 2.
Why don't you introduce this one?
Well, this one's a little near and dear to my heart. So here's the thing. I would like to preface something about what this is about. Major League Baseball's opening day on Netflix is what this is actually about. And it kind of went by the wayside. A lot of people had all their shit to say about it, including me. I did not enjoy the production. However, I want to make this abundantly clear.
Yeah.
And I've made this abundantly clear, and I hope I'm really making my point across. I appreciate, and I do mean this, and this is not as a joke, I do appreciate any broadcast company, any league, any team that takes a big swing at something, even if it's dog shit and it's a massive swing and a miss. Netflix's opening night on an MLB opening night was just swing and a miss after swing and a miss after swing and a miss. Now, I didn't walk away with the vitriol that a lot of baseball purists did. I heard what they said and I understood what they said. The scoreboard was too big and too small. Weirdly, actually, yes.
Really?
Weirdly, that is a very,
You're
very.
like, I don't know how to explain it.
No,
but-
I can absolutely explain it.
Okay.
The logos of the teams, far too big. The writing of the numbers, too small.
Yeah.
Writing of the names, too
By
small.
the way, I have a score bug. I hate bad score bugs, and so many of them are bad. So I'm with it.
So I didn't look at it going like, this is a travesty and we need everybody to be killed.
Yeah.
I looked at it and be like,
Probably fair.
we could fix that.
We can fix that.
We'll be fine. Okay,
Sure.
don't worry about it. The pregame show wasn't great. It wasn't. And Elle Duncan hosted the pregame show. And listen, Elle Duncan, who I think is an absolute pro and one of the best at what she does, did the best she could with what was put in front of her. She had to introduce this
She
guy.
had a job to do, and she did it.
And she had a job to do, and she did her job. She had to introduce this guy, and with the segue and of just nauseating segues about promoting this Netflix show, and she did her best. And she also
They
was on-
really wanted people to know that Netflix has shows,
which
by
is
the way.
amazing because we were already
knew?
fucking tuned into Netflix.
Who knew?
But then she was also at a panel with 4 people who had zero experience
Now,
on
who was on this
television.
panel?
She had Barry Bonds, who in that moment was a deer in headlights. He didn't really,
Absolute goat, not good at TV.
no, wasn't good at TV. Anthony Rizzo, who
That's
actually,
right. Oh, Anthony Rizzo.
who I
Okay.
thought did a pretty good job, all
Okay.
things considered.
Okay.
And I'm trying to remember who the third one was. Also, was just a little green.
Was it?
Man,
no.
I can't remember off the top of my
Anyway,
head.
yeah, I can't
But
remember either.
everyone
Yeah.
on the dais was pretty green,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
she's doing the best she can, and she did
And
it.
she's a fucking pro.
She
yeah.
did a solid job,
Yeah.
and I've always liked her work. Well, she goes on to Pablo Torre finds out another show, and a guy I actually do appreciate the
Yeah,
work
we've talked
of.
about him a lot on this podcast.
And they talk about it and talk about the backlash received.
Mm-hmm.
And part of it, I was completely on board with her on. Yes, I think the backlash was a bit too loud, a bit too much. Because let me just break down what it was. It was a 3.5, 4.5 hour, nauseatingly heavy-handed and awfully produced 4.5 hour Netflix
commercial?
ad. I mean, just everything about it. Like the Jameis Winston of it all was fine in the pregame videos. They were fine. And then you do a full half-inning interview of Jameis Winston in the stands with 2 WWE wrestlers. No one paying attention to the game.
Right.
No one knows what the fuck's going on in the game. They cut away to do some sort of talk with somebody else. Oh, that's right. They're doing an on-field interview while the first ever ABS challenge in the history of Major League Baseball happens. Wasn't even on the screen, Tanya.
Yeah, that part was really bad.
Fuck me.
And Bert Kreischer was there for some
Bert
reason.
Kreischer. Okay, I've seen some of his work. Those of you that like him,
I'll
fine.
tell you, you can't like him. He
You can
doesn't-
like
there's
anyone
no
you
reason
like,
to-
but what the
yeah.
fuck was this?
I don't need him in my
This was
baseball.
this was dog shit.
Get Kreischer out of my baseball is
It
what
was
I'm saying.
dog shit.
So let's.
The whole production was bad.
It was bad. It was very like they were very clearly trying to eventize it,
Yes.
right? Like it was like we're gonna have all these things going on. And to your point,
It was
You're
bad.
tuning in to watch the first baseball game of the year, and you miss a monumental moment.
I missed
several
a lot of
monumental moments.
baseball.
Yeah, a lot of baseball.
So-
turns out you wanted to watch baseball when you turn on baseball, right?
Yes. So Elle Duncan goes on to Pablo Torre, and she did say the things that she did listen. Now, I can only imagine.
Do you want me to read the quote that she said in defense?
Let's hear the quote.
Okay, so I'll do that. She said, there's some feedback that's constructive, right? Constructive feedback is too many promos, Duncan said. Message received as the person that was reading the promos, the shark one, because it was like Bert
Not her fault.
Kreischer out in the water. That sounds like the beginning of a shark movie. Speaking of which, as a broadcaster, whenever you have to say, speaking of which, your segue was shit.
true. That is true.
So I tried so hard to make that work. So
She did.
yes, message received. As soon as we got off the air, Netflix brass was like probably too many promos. So she goes on, she goes through all of that. She says, all of that is very real constructive criticism and will be fixed. But she goes on to say,
This is where she loses me, man.
Yes.
Big time.
whenever there is criticism I saw of like it was just so Netflix, it was not for baseball purists. Well, first of all, I come from a baseball purist mother who will watch 162 Brave games this year. She would have watched opening day if you would have broadcasted on the fucking moon. This was not for baseball purists. You watch it anyway. This was for the baseball curious, and we told you that coming in.
You didn't.
In fact, a lot of what Netflix is doing in the sports world is, yes, for the people who are always going to watch those sports, but also for the people that maybe tuned in to watch Love is Blind, saw the button for opening day on Netflix and thought, all right, I'll check it out. Listen, this is like going to a Mexican restaurant and then bitching that they don't have barbecue. They advertise as a Mexican restaurant. It's your fault that you somehow thought they were going to serve you barbecue there. Netflix has made no qualms about who they are. We're going to eventize these things. We're going to pull people from the Netflix universe. That's what we're going to do. I love Elle Duncan. I think
this is nonsense.
She's playing a company man role
Big
here.
time.
And it's bad. And
It's bad.
I told you when we were discussing this in our
Fucking
little
bad.
pre-show meeting that I don't ever appreciate somebody coming to me and saying, well, you just don't
You
get
didn't get it.
You
No,
just
no, no,
didn't
no.
get what we were doing.
No, we got what you were doing.
To look at baseball
we hated
fans,
it. That's all.
baseball fans, and be like, you wanted baseball?
Dude.
This isn't baseball. This is something new and innovative. Actually, no, it's baseball.
No, it's
You
fucking
have
baseball.
You have a broadcast agreement with Major League Baseball, and the fans of these two teams tuned in to watch baseball, and I didn't need her to answer for this. The thing is, you and I would have let Elle Duncan off the hook. We're still going to let her off the hook.
By the way, I am going to let Elle Duncan off the hook. I am going to.
I'm
just
going
flat out
to
because I like her work so
and
much.
Because I do genuinely think she was a worthwhile hire, and I think that behind the scenes, she probably is really pushing for some good shit that will work. This is a company line, but she didn't have to say it. It was an unforced error for her to go on to Pablo Torre and defend it this way and to be condescending to baseball fans.
That's the thing I really don't get.
I don't understand that part.
Yeah, scolding the baseball fans for
Yeah.
what were you expecting on Major League Baseball opening night? We were expecting Major League Baseball opening night to be
and like, listen, if you want to
majorly a
throw
part of it.
Jameis Winston in with WWE wrestlers, okay, absolutely. As your job, it is your job to make sure we don't miss the first ball, the first challenge.
Literally, it's the only thing you should have fucking
Like,
broadcasted.
right? So
The only thing.
So what happens in these situations with these companies that are not sports television companies? This is going to be a little elitist.
Mm-hmm.
I worked for Fox Sports for 7 years. Prior to that, I worked for USA Today. Prior to that, I worked for, I've worked for Spectrum Sports. I've worked for NBC Sports. I've worked for the NFL Network. Like, I've always worked in establishment sports media. Something happens when you go to these other companies, Apple, Netflix, that are not sports media companies, that do not have established, long-standing sports branches within them, where they're like, what if we did something kooky? And it's like, nah. Every time it fails. Every single fucking time it fails. The reason that your Netflix boxing matches do so well is because you just put on a boxing match with a bunch of glitz and glamour, and people want to see the clown show that you've promised. Like, no one tuned in.
We didn't want this for baseball.
No one tuned in to the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight because they were like, I love boxing, right?
No, they tuned in hoping that Jake Paul would get killed on television.
Right. You didn't. That's not. There is no Jake Paul Mike Tyson in the first game. What they're trying to apply? They were like, we can gimmick boxing, so they thought they could gimmick baseball,
And it was awful.
and
it was
you
just
can't
awful.
gimmick baseball when it's real baseball.
Exactly.
This would be like them trying to gimmick like Triple G and Canelo in their prime. No, don't do that. We want to watch that fucking match.
And again, I want to also say, I actually kind of appreciate some of the dog shit thing they tried.
I forgot to respond to that part. I don't. I actually am really, really tired of, because you want to know why I don't?
mind.
I'll tell you why I don't. Because I know what happens behind the scenes when they're doing that shit. It's a bunch of sports producers and people like Elle Duncan and everybody else being like, hey, this is a bad idea. It's going to be stupid. Nobody's going to like it. Then being like, you don't know what you're talking about. Then nobody liking it and then Elle Duncan having to defend it.
No, you're
because
right.
That's what ends up fucking happening every single time.
I can't stress this enough. I mean this from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah.
There is not one fucking thing I saw in the Netflix production that I hope we see again.
Yeah.
I honest to God hope they just saw what they did and said, we're not doing any of that again. Because the next thing they have, and correct me if I'm wrong, maybe they have other games as well.
Probably.
But I'm pretty sure the next thing they have is the Home Run Derby. Do not fuck with the Home Run Derby, you goddamn idiots.
They are currently planning to fuck with the Home Run Derby. They are currently.
It's literally a perfect event.
Well, and that's the thing is like
it's a perfect event.
They don't. The way that you watch sports and the way that you produce sports, there's a very specific way to innovate in it. It does not. I was talking to you earlier about how Fox innovated the camera angles in NFL games, like innovated certain broadcast elements. We've innovated certain things across sports TV for a long time, but when you do that, it has to be an iteration on something that already works, right? How do we take something people love and make it better? That is how you innovate in sports. And in sports broadcasting specifically.
But if Netflix is saying, you know what, instead, we're going to get people not interested in baseball. And by the way, can I ask you this question?
Yeah.
What human being that was not a baseball fan that was on Netflix that day switched over to that game and said, I love this?
Nobody.
Fucking no one.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like people have been, and people, plenty of people in movie and television, the executives are always the dumbest people.
I know.
They're always the dumbest people.
Boy,
they will look at you and be like, you know what's going to work? And everybody in the room is like,
company I've worked at.
Oh my God.
Fox.
The network
Sirius.
notes.
Oh my God.
The network notes that if you make a television show, if you make a movie, there's always a network note from some executive that sounds like the stupidest shit you've ever heard in your life. And they always get what they want until it doesn't fucking work. Then they blame it on somebody else. God forbid they fuck. Because I know how this goes. Fucking 3 months from now with their bullshit and they're like, we had to let Elle Duncan go. You're like, fuck off.
Oh, dude, they better not. Like, she's the only thing on the broadcast I liked.
But but that's what I'm saying. That's what they do. They scapegoat everybody but themselves. Yeah. They don't get out in front and say like, actually, everybody we hired from sports networks told us this wasn't going to work and we told them they were wrong. It turns out they were right. Because that's what happens 95% of the time.
Well, to be fair, there's only been Major League Baseball for 150 years. So what the fuck do they know?
We are still figuring out what works, and we're trying to figure out if Major League Baseball wants Jameis Winston in the stand.
They don't. And just for the record, baseball's doing really well right now. And as a TV product, it's absolutely fucking crushing right now. And I love the product that they're putting together. Netflix, no more. You don't know how to innovate. You don't. So stop trying. Just play baseball games. And you know what? Let Elle Duncan do what Elle Duncan's good at. Let the people that you hired, that you did hire some good fucking people.
That's what I always say.
So
like,
why don't you just
hire them if you're not going to listen to them?
Let them do their good work, and we could all move on with our day.
Oh my God, I am so it's bad. It's bad news bears. So
awful. So Elle Duncan, please don't scold the baseball fans for not getting it again, please. I don't want to not defend you.
I think it was a misstep. I'm hoping that listen, you and I have both had insufferable moments.
Plenty
moments
of times.
where we are like, we're like, that was not my best.
But don't do that again, please. I'm asking just as a friend. I know you don't know me, but still.
But we consider you like spiritually our friend.
We like you. We like your work
I think
a lot.
Elle is so great. I think she's so like talented and like really somebody that I'm rooting for. So I'm just looking at this as a misstep. Also, Pablo, push back a little bit. Help your girl out.
Yeah, that was the other thing that I was like, Pablo, you put out some great shit. You know what she was saying was insane. Yeah. You have to push back on that.
You have to be like, well, you
got to.
Because it gives her a chance to course correct. That's another thing about being a good interviewer is being like, hey.
Give them an out.
Give them and if she doesn't take it, she doesn't take it. But
you got to give them an out.
Yeah.
You got to push back on that. There's just no world you can hear that said to your face and be like, yeah. Come on now, dude. No.
Yeah, stupid baseball fans expecting baseball.
Yeah, that was on us.
I also would really love to talk to even 10 people in America who turned on Netflix to watch Love is Blind and were like, instead,
who's this tall guy with the new NY hat?
Baseball? I don't know about that.
I'm sorry.
I don't think that happens.
It's such a baffling fucking argument.
And I know that was a company line. I know Elle didn't come up with that line.
That's no
I get that, but like
fucking question. Yeah. Listen, I've had to say things for employers too.
Hey,
But I didn't go on a podcast to do it.
At some point, we're going to start selling you stuff on this podcast, and you're going to believe that we love it.
No, actually, there's a couple of things we're getting ready to hopefully sell you on this podcast, and actually, I really love both of them.
I will say, always a goal to only be like actually working with brands you actually like, because like I'm not a liar. I'll be like, yeah, we were sponsored by this wine company, and it kind of sucks. But
I was sponsored by so many things on SiriusXM that I didn't get they didn't even let us try it.
But we have a say,
was a clown
because
show.
we are already operating as an independent crew. We can bring in whoever we want.
Whatever we want. In fact,
Shit we
we're not being
believe in.
sponsored by this right now, and we're drinking the living shit out of. I'm not
Exactly.
telling you who it is.
And I'm going to email you and see if you'll sponsor us, because we drink your wine every day anyway.
Every single
But
day.
I'm not going to tell you that it's you.
Nope.
All right.
Until you pass.
That was Media Corner. It was a good Media Corner.
It was a good media corner.
These were two stories that I was excited to talk to you about, and they went as well as I thought they would.
I thought so too.
Pop culture corner. We're doing pop culture.
Really excited for this because you're not going to be happy
Yes.
with me.
Okay. You've warned me that I'm not going to be happy about it. So our pop culture corner story that kind of is going to launch us into just like a fun little, a very millennial topic is that Celine Dion has announced a return to performing.
Loving that.
She hasn't performed in, I think, 4 years because of stiff person syndrome.
Very excited
So
that she's getting back out
She is going to do a 10 date residency in Paris. Notoriously a French Canadian queen, so love that for her. Robin is releasing a new album, pop star of the 90s and 2000s. And so it's just a sort of like, we've got some like divas coming back, some pop stars coming back that are from our younger years, are sort of iconic, whatever.
Amazing.
And
Amazing
so
stuff.
it's funny that this is all happening at once, because I was like, we really kind of, I think about whether it was pop, whether it was country, whether it was rock, whether it was whatever, the 90s and the 2000s really gave us like singular women, like performers in a way that was like, that these are, all timers.
Can you give me some of those names?
Sure. Like a Mariah Carey.
Completely agree.
Right? Like Sheryl Crow.
No question.
Like the country singers, you could do a million of them, but like the Martina McBride.
Okay.
And all of these like individual, then you kind of get into Beyonce, you get into the pop divas, the Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera.
All of them.
You get heading into the 90s and a duration through the 90s is my girl Whitney Houston. You get like
you get Tracy Chapman's, even though their sustainability wasn't quite as much as say the other ones.
We get rock women, that's right. We get in the 2000 and then kind of later toward the 2010s era, the 2000s, we have Hayley Williams fronting Paramore. We've just had some incredible women.
Yes.
And we haven't quite experienced that level of genre, cross genre, just like powerhouse singers that are iconic in a while. And I don't even think we had it before. What I'm asking you is thoughts on just the return of some of these women.
Yes.
And thoughts on maybe was the 90s and 2000s specifically our sort of era, our millennial peak.
My era.
Was it the greatest pop woman? And when I say pop, I mean popular music. So it can be cross genre. Era of all time.
I'm going to say maybe, but the reason why I'm saying maybe is because I do think we're discounting a lot of 70s had an incredible female pop era.
Yeah, but
along with the 80s. I mean, you can go with the 80s. You want to go on the rock side, you could talk about Joan Jett and the Blackhearts.
We got Madonna.
You got Madonna. You got so many. You got Stevie Nicks from the 70s to the 80s to the 90s to even now. True, but you also got Stevie Nicks on her own, too.
Stevie Nicks on her own is its own thing, yeah.
Yeah.
You got Tina Turner.
Aretha Franklin. I mean, you can make an argument for each one. I hear what you're saying because we grew up in that era, totally. But I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
You're not going to like it. Who the fuck is Robin?
I'm in the corner watching you kiss her. Oh. You've never heard that song?
That's Robin, and we're putting Robin on the list with all of these people.
Well, she's got like several hits.
I have never heard of, when I saw a massive article with Robin on the cover saying like the horniness, she's back, and what was it? Sexualization or what was
So,
what?
yeah, so I don't- yeah,
something
the name
that
of the
something about being. And I even read the article saying
I'm proud of you.
I'm in my late 40s and I want to have sex more than ever. Like I dig what this chick is
like,
saying.
I love
like
this.
I get this. Also, who are you? And why is this important? Turns
That's
out
so
she's got
funny.
fans, and I have no fucking clue who Robin is.
She's playing the forum.
Who the fuck is Robin?
I don't know how you missed this. I mean, I can't
Where did
explain it.
Robin come from?
I mean, she's been around since the 90s.
I went and looked it up, found 3 songs that I vaguely knew, and then found out that the song that I knew her the best from, didn't know was her. It's Go Kindergarten by Lonely Island. And she's great on it. I want to make
Great.
that she's great.
Yeah. No, she's great.
She's great on it.
Yeah, she's a great pop star.
But who the fuck is Rob? Where did it?
Well, you know now.
I still don't know who Robin is.
Well, you do. You just, I mean, if you read a whole article.
Where was I for this Robin
don't-
shit? And how is there a Robin-a-sons when there wasn't an original Robin anything?
Well, there was. You just weren't a part of it.
When was Robin?
Dude, I don't know what to tell you. Like this, I don't know how to explain to you if you missed a whole like 15-year stretch of music.
When was her moment? Just give me like artists where like it was this person, and Robin. Okay, and
Well,
so
no,
I can.
like this is like let me try to come up with a comparison to like a comparison level of.
Too many people
pop
have made me
star.
feel stupid that I don't know who Robin is, and I have no fucking clue who Robin is.
Who yelled at you? I haven't even said anything.
There's no doubt you. There was like because I asked somebody like, "Who's Robin?" It's like, "You don't know who Robin is? No, who's Robin?"
Okay, so I'm trying to think of an equivalent type pop star.
Bjork?
Or like no, like. God, how do I like? Because there was never a time where it was like she was the biggest pop star in the world, but like she definitely has like really iconic songs. So like, how would
I know
you-
that song. Like,
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
that song.
It's a classic.
Yeah, it's a good song. I did not know it was Robin.
I'm like maybe like a. She was never like
I feel awful about it.
she was never like Pink. She was never like the girl on the radio.
She like
But,
Kate
like,
Bush of her time.
maybe.
Like kind of like underappreciated
I've
because
never.
then Madonna came out.
I'm so surprised that you never heard of her that I never considered that I'd have to explain Robin to you.
I just don't like she seems fucking awesome. I
you
love
love her, yeah.
I love the article
I'm glad you
about
know
her.
who she is
Like,
now.
oh, this chick's fucking killer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking look her up.
Who is so well since you don't know who Robin is, I imagine
don't know.
who is give me some of your favorite like I want to throw them in my rotation pop like solo act women.
I mean, I'll throw Madonna in there.
Okay.
I obviously grew up
Always
on
been a
plenty of
Madonna
Madonna
guy,
guy. Mariah. It's gonna be all the obvious names. That's the downside.
Okay.
But like, if we're gonna really talk about musical divas specifically,
Sure.
I'm going top of the list is the name I already gave you, Stevie Nicks. Period.
Yes.
Stop.
Well,
Stevie
she's
Nicks
like-
is like the
she's
pinnacle of pinnacles.
she's
to
like
me.
a like probably considered the like pinnacle of women rock stars. Like
Yeah, like,
right.
she's
It's
just
like
a
her,
badass.
There's genre bending people who went in and out of rock and did different stuff. But as far as like just a pure like of that era front manning a band and like her voice and just like her presence in music, Stevie Nicks is iconic.
Yeah.
Like there's
Just
really
as good as it gets to
it's
me.
as good
like-
as it gets.
I
and,
also
like,
just side
her
note
mu-
think
like,
she's
Fleetwood
also the
Mac
most.
is also fucking awesome. By the way.
Yeah, it is. I also, and this is not why I think Stevie Nicks is the most
hot.
talented. I also think she is the most beautiful woman who like ever lived.
Yeah, she was so hot.
Like
Yeah.
it's just like it's you. What?
Way to go, Lindsay Buckingham.
She sings like this, writes songs like this, and she looks like what the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah.
That's like a supreme being among us.
Now, did you listen to the boy bands and the girl pop of
Yes, I did.
late 90s and 2000s?
Yes, I did. Like you go through all of them.
You don't have to go through them, but like you were back then, you were in on that.
Yes, I was more of a rock guy. I was a metalhead guy, but yeah, of course I listened to everybody on the side
Okay,
as
because
well.
some people didn't.
Oh no, I love
yeah.
me some Backstreet Boys. I love me some. Honestly, you know who I actually did really like? 98 Degrees.
98 Degrees
I
is
thought
great.
98 Degrees were the best of those three. Those big three, if we'll call them that.
Well,
That
because it was Backstreet and
Backstreet
NSYNC were the
NSYNC,
ones who were
those
the,
were the
superstars.
superstars, and they were kind of like the B players.
I loved 98 Degrees.
C players, O Town.
Oh, Liquid Dreams.
Because I want it all or nothing at all. There's
Yeah.
nowhere left to fall. It's now or never. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
it. I know that song.
I think that those were iconic times.
Mm-hmm.
I like 98 Degrees. I'm always going to be an NSYNC guy, but that's fine. Like, you picked your ones when you were younger.
Thank you, Hello Kitty Angel. I'm with Cody's side on this whole Robin thing. I have no idea who she is either. Thank you.
Robin with a Y. Robin with a Y, gang. You
I
gotta
just
get
kept
it on.
going, Robin Williams? Not Robin? Okay.
Okay.
Robin, played by
imagine if I was
Chris
like-
O'Donnell from the
imagine if
movie
I was like,
Batman Forever, Batman and Robin.
Robin Williams is back and he's putting out an album.
Please. Please.
And it's
Pretty please?
sexual.
Deal. I'll take
Yeah.
anything
Yeah.
from Robin Williams.
But yeah, I like, Celine Dion, formative part of my childhood.
It's on Instagram too. Right there with you. First time I heard of her. Thank you. We missed Robin.
Is that a man or a woman?
Chef Still?
Okay, interesting. Are you a man? Are you a man or a
That
woman?
could mean anything. I can't see the photo. My
I
eyes
do
are not
think
that good.
what I'm thinking is that this is a woman, like that this might be a thing where it's just like very big with like women and lesbians.
Okay.
You know how some people are like
Subarus.
What?
Like Subarus.
Yes. Want that
Subarus are
explained
very
very
one day.
lesbian. I'm trying to think of something that's like woman and lesbian, or like, because a lot of times these divas are women and gays, right? Like a lot of it, like Madonna, Lady Gaga, they're always like women and gays. I think Robin might be women and lesbians.
Okay.
Specifically.
By the way, question by Hello Kitty. Stevie Nicks, Cyndi Lauper, The Runaways. Oh, I love metal. What bands, Cody? Well, if we're going through my metal bands, but it depends on the type of metal.
Oh
Tanya.
no, I'm really okay.
Depends on the type of metal, Tanya.
I'm really
Are we
okay.
talking pop metal? Are we talking hair metal?
Pop metal.
Pop metal?
Yeah.
Okay, I equate pop metal to being hair metal.
Okay, good.
Okay, so 1980s hair metal. We got. I feel bad by putting Motley Crue at the tippy top of the list, but
they're good.
No, Motley Crue is the best.
Yeah.
I love Motley Crue, but Motley Crue I thought was better than hair metal. So I always try to take them out of the hair
Don't
metal
do that.
mix.
No. Give hair metal its due. They had hair. They were playing metal.
But they
I know.
they were better. They were better than
Better
that.
than who's number 2 then?
Poison.
Poison.
Poison couldn't play worth a shit. But
No.
Talk Dirty to Me is a jam.
Also, what's their big song? I love that.
Nothing but a good time.
No, what's the other one?
Every rose has
Has
a
its
thorn.
thorn.
I'll even give me some
Just
extreme,
like
more than
every
words. Give me some Dawkins.
Oh,
Give me
more
some
than
Slaughter.
words is more than. This is all just like pop to me.
Yeah,
like
these are-
none of this is metal.
That's pop
Do you
metal.
like hardcore metal?
What would you
I
define
don't know.
hardcore
Like
metal?
something that's a little bit more like not pop. Like,
Yeah.
do you like stuff that's like
Metallica, Megadeth.
Metallica is like popular metal?
They are popular metal,
Yeah.
but to call Metallica pop would be a
I just think
sizable stretch.
they are pop metal.
No, they are a popular
That's what pop-
band.
that's what pop
you
means.
know what you're doing, and you know what the connotation is, and I see what you're
I don't
doing,
care.
and
I'm
I
doing it.
appreciate what
I'm
you're
doing
trying
it.
to do, and I will not take the bait.
I'm
You
doing
are
it. I'm
not
gonna try to
fooling me.
piss off
You are
Lars.
not fooling me, and you're not fooling anyone else. It's not happening.
But I like Metallica.
Motorhead. I mean, they're more of the
You know
thrash
what I
punk
know?
side.
You know what I know about the most, like the way I know the most hardcore, like metal type crossover songs, like are from. I learned them from.
Probably movies.
No,
Oh God, no.
Guitar Hero.
Oh no, that's fair.
Yeah.
No.
Like,
No,
I
I'm
learned
gonna
a
give
bunch
that
of
to you.
songs from Guitar
That's
Hero.
way more fair than you think.
Okay.
Because in college, and people might
Yeah.
not remember when we were in college.
Yeah.
Guitar Hero wasn't kind of a thing. Guitar
It was
Hero
lifestyle.
was literally life.
Yeah.
Like our whole team at UCLA would show up to our place.
Yeah.
We'd all play Guitar Hero.
I was like, "What's Avenged Sevenfold?"
Dude, I'm telling you, like
Buckethead. Never heard of him now.
Dude, but also like Boston, just the amount of times more
yeah.
than a feeling on Guitar Hero was played in my home. It was like, trust me. No, when it
Sweet
comes
child of mine. I used to.
when it comes to rock music,
Yeah.
like it gets broken down into so many things. I always say if I had to pick one music genre,
rock.
I would pick rock, but I would specifically, because I doubt someone's like, you can have all rock, because that's like so many genres within it.
I mean, if you
I would
could
go-
take it all, then I would take that too because
Deal.
it's so many genres.
But
Yeah.
I honestly go with alternative rock. And the reason why I go with
Now,
alternative
does
rock,
that include grunge?
in my opinion, yes,
Yeah.
but you might have to remove the grunge era out of it based on whatever your
But
rules
then
of
what's
lexicon are.
alternative?
I always considered alternative to be the answer to the end of the grunge movement and still pushing away from metal because I thought it had more of a
Give me an
pop-
example.
Green Day.
Isn't that pop punk?
that is pop. Alternative is pop punk, but it also has a little bit more melodic aspect to it. So I'm going to give you another band that's on that list, Oasis.
Okay, so I think Oasis is a bridge between a more classic rock sound and pop.
That is fair.
which I like.
Me too. Weezer.
Weezer feels very pop punk to me.
That's kind of what exactly alternative kind of
What
is.
about like I'm trying to think of like
Love GNR. Can't stress enough how much I love GNR. Use Your Illusion 2, I think, is their best album, by the way.
I like the one that we waited a long time for that was bad.
That would be Chinese Democracy.
No, I'm
and
just
you know
kidding.
what?
I'm
I'm
like,
not going
I
to sit
never
here
listened to it.
and by the way, better than you think.
By the way,
Better than you
I've
think.
told you this that my longtime Halloween costume that I've never done is being Axl Rose for Halloween because I think it would be
it's
it'd be
sitting right
so good.
there.
Just stringy, like
Why
straight
has
in the
Chris
hair,
not
super
been
super stringy.
Slash?
Exactly.
You guys don't actually have to do anything.
Literally, we just
You guys
need
just
to
said you
put
go
clothes
outside.
on. If I straighten my hair and make it as stringy as possible,
And he just gets a
and
top
he puts
hat,
a top hat on,
Then it's over.
and no explanations.
By the way,
no one
I have
would
I have a Les
question.
Paul. Loan him a Les Paul. He can walk around carrying my Les Paul.
Perfect.
You're welcome.
So, and I could sing it. You know what we do? We go to the Gaslight, and I do Axl Rose.
Well, then who am I going to be? We got to all be musicians then. By the way, I have done this when I was Prince for Halloween once, and I went to the Gaslight and I sang Prince songs all night.
Prince?
I was not in blackface. Slow down.
Well, I didn't think you were in blackface, but he's very small.
So I was a jacked up Prince.
I was just a jacked white bald Prince who
I had hair at the time. I wore a wig.
Cody,
Slow down.
Cody, I'm not gonna lie. I can't think of a person who looks less like Prince on planet Earth.
I didn't have a beard at the time.
I can't.
I'll show you a photo later. I'll show you a photo later.
I can't. That would be me being like, you know who I was one time for Halloween? Barry Bonds.
Oh, here's a good one. Andrew's not wrong. Good example of quintessential alt rock song is "Iris" by the Goo Goo Dolls.
Hell, that's alt rock.
That is alternative rock.
Like, see, to me, that's like
It's a ballad
just like
from an
new-
alt-rock
Like
band.
to me, that like it's like almost classic now. It's like so classic that like to me.
Hello
it's-
Kitty did not like me saying good things about the Chinese democracy.
Okay. Well,
It's really not a bad album. Hear me out on this. Hear me out on this. I know you're a diehard Guns N' Roses fan like I am. The song Chinese Democracy is a good song. Shackler's Revenge is a good song. And hear me out on this. A top 10 song by Guns N' Roses is on this album. Look at the song Closer. Better. The song Better. And the reason why, it's like the only song from that album that the current band of the original members are back. They still play it because it's a fucking good song.
so this is I like the Goo Goo Dolls shout out because like they had that one album that was like one of the greatest albums ever put out.
Gotta let it slide. Yep.
That album was insane. And Chris and I will do late night, like we'll get drunk in our kitchen and listen to music. And like that song came on and we were both like, is this like one of the most no skip millennial Gen X
I have
songs of
one
all
more.
time?
I have one more.
And I was like, you think that until you're like sitting there and you hear like 3 a.m. by Matchbox 20.
Great one.
Right? It's like
Great
every
one.
time there's a whole genre
Okay.
in there of
Can
like
I ask
those-
you a question? And
yeah.
I'll ask the chat too, because the chat's just going crazy on
Yeah.
this right now. What is, if you had to pick one song that is the most quintessential, like, it could be a one-hit wonder, it could be, what is just the most 90s or late 90s song you could think of? I think I have two on this
late
list.
90s, the most late
Just
90s
something that
song.
you hear it, you're like, oh man, that's 1997. Oh man, you have flashbacks.
I'll tell you what it is. The Offspring. Uno, dos, tres.
That would be pretty fly for a white guy. Yes, I get that.
That shit. Every time I hear it, I'm like,
and that whole
I am
album's
10
a
years
jam.
old.
Americana by The Offspring. What an
Yeah.
album.
And Barbie Girl.
Okay, by Aqua. I can see that. Flagpole Sitta by Harvey Danger.
I don't think I know it.
Yes, you do.
Oh,
You know it.
wait, go.
You know it.
What is it?
Paranoia, paranoia, everybody's coming
yeah.
to get me.
Me.
To say you never met me. Yeah, you know that fucking song. That,
Yeah.
no, I'm not sick, but I'm not well. Nothing. That is the number one quintessential I'm in 1997
I mean,
song.
we could do like we could sit around a kitchen counter and like come up with like 20 of them like songs that were like that would be the sound.
Yeah,
that would be
that song, and Closing Time by Semisonic has always kind of
yeah, but that was that late 90s?
That was late 90s.
Yeah, okay.
But now it's
Yeah.
it's been ruined, not ruined, taken from that, because that movie, which a movie I hate to say I actually really like, Friends with Benefits, starring Justin Timberlake, and
Oh, I don't associate it with that.
I now do.
I associate it with like the end of like high school dances.
I remember we always played it at the end of the night at the bar I worked. Bars I worked
like
at too,
I don't know. That's what it like reminds me of. Is like
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Gold. We once again we went too long, and we can't get to the number one topic of the day, which is of course Kurt Schilling's Bloody Sock.
Yeah,
which
and
did not happen.
Another really iconic early 2000s moment.
Yeah,
that
but
we could have
the other
easily-
ones that I mentioned happened.
and as did this. I mean, regardless of whether you think the blood was real or not, the sock was there. It happened. The actual thing happened. Whether or not you think that it was actually blood.
Just such a socks homer. You're just
Now
sitting
here's
here
the
just like,
thing
"Yo,
though.
all these things took place."
Here's the thing though.
What?
Regardless of whether that was, what do you think sometimes it is? Sometimes you say it's maple syrup or something.
Marinara.
Marinara.
Fucking fat fuck was in there eating spaghetti.
And again, I will say, do I think he is the kind of person who would eat a mozzarella stick in the clubhouse?
Sure do.
Yeah. Do I also think he went out and beat the fucking Yankees with blood in his sock? I do. I think both can be true, and I think that happened that evening. Either way, I'm never going to defend the motherfucker because, Cody, we had an incredible show. Mm-hmm. And I think people should like, subscribe, and do all the things.
Yeah, they should.
And I think we need to always make it clear that it's fuck Kurt Schilling forever.
Like, share, and subscribe, and fuck Kurt Schilling forever.